Welcome to my channel. I'm happy you're here, and let's get started. So I've been having fun just adjusting the colors. During the night I did that a little bit this morning, and I realized while I was doing that the birds are colored because I had forgotten to press record when I was doing them. So I'm going to do them today. Thank you, life, because I took a photocopy when I started the project, just in case this would happen. So here we go. The birds I colored with light Aqua 992. Just the top of the bird, I used it. I left the belly white. And then I went in with the Copenhagen 906 and colored the wing very lightly. The tail. And because this tree is not colored yet on this page, I can still see the feet, but when it's going to be colored in, you're not going to see the feet so much, so you're going to want to do those. Actually, I can come in with some black. Okay, so if we see how I colored the birds here, I added some black to the feet because we had lost them. A little bit of black to the eye, to the beak, to the tail. I went in on the background, some darker shades under the bird. I used the violet blue 933. It's the shading, you know, it's going to be a little bit darker under the bird. If I do this bird, the same thing, I'm going to add a darker coloring. And this bird as well. There we go. All right. So let's do this again. Yeah, the other day was so funny when I was coloring these birds. I had forgotten to press register, like video. So, light Aqua 992. The belly is going to stay white. Very lightly over the wing, 906 Copenhagen. The tail. And I'm going to use the black for the eye and the beak and the feet. That's it. Very quick. These are so cute. But they're so small that I'm not going to fuss over it for very long. Some Copenhagen blue. I'm going to do the tail, the feet, there. And this is the Prismacolor Blender 1077. I'm going to go ahead and blend the wing. There we go. I'm going to clean the tip because the tip does get dirty when you do that. So, see, you can see here what was on the tip. Okay. And now I can go into my Aqua and blend that. There you go. With this blender, what's nice is that the point stays for a long time because it's a harder lead. So if you're blending with white, the lead is kind of softer, so it might mess up a little bit. But maybe it won't mess up either. So there we go. Now, what I've done with this tree is I've continued using the light Aqua just for the tips, the little twigs here. I'm not going too hard because maybe I'll want to darken them with another color as well. I'll decide that as I go. There we go, there we go. Right, so there we go. So I'll continue this afterwards. I've also gone in with the Parma violet. And just went around like this. I'm not going to go further over there. Like that. So. And I go in and I fix up if I see some white tooth, I will go in and see if I can fix it up. Now the bark, or the snow. Let's start the snow. Let me see if my camera is in focus for the snow. Yes, it is. So I'm going to just do this like this. There. Yeah, okay, that's going to be good. So the snow is white, but if we just go in with our white, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. But if we go in with a bit of blue, at least we'll get a little bit of color in there. This blue is powder blue, 1087. I had that on my list yesterday from my video. I gave you a list of all the pencils that we've been using so far. There we go. Okay, now I can go in with the white. I'm gonna have to make sure that it's clean, so I'm gonna have to clean the tip. You see how dirty it was over here? Because I'm working on a light color, so I don't want it to be dirty. There we go. And the next color I'm going to use is the blue slate, 1024. So we can see here a line that Maria Troll has added. So we will not color on this side, but we will color on this side. That's going to be our shade. And then I'll just make another one here. Like this. A little circular motion. Okay. And then we will blend it with the lighter color. And some white. I'm going a little bit harder just because I know I'm not going to be adding any other colors, and it goes a little bit quicker this way. Let's add a little bit more blue. I'm not really liking the color there. I don't know why it's doing that. I might have to erase it and come back. My powder blue. And the white. I think I'm going to erase the gray. I don't know why it turned gray. Although some colorists will use the gray for the snow. So either you go towards a blue or you go towards a gray. Why is that gray? I don't get it. Strange. Like, the powder blue 1087 will stay blue. It won't go black. It is actually going a little bit gray. And I'm wondering, is it because some of the violet is coming down on it? I'm not sure. Huh. Maybe if I put some white first. And then I go down from the white with the blue. It's actually staying blue. It's not turning gray. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase where it turned gray. This one stayed blue. This one went to gray. We have some gray here too, so I'm going to start that over. All right. So I'm going to start down below here and see what happens. So this is my shading color. And it's a very pretty blue. So I'm just going over the lines that Maria has colored in for us as a guide. I'm gonna add a sheet of paper to protect the oil from going onto my page. I'm going to use the powder blue 1087 to go over that. Is it turning gray again? I think I'm going to have to change this pencil for another one because they're not working well together. Huh, who knew? So let's try just with the white and see what happens. Wow, okay. We learn something every day. So let's just use the white. All right. So you see how beautiful the white has come out from the blue? If we only use the white, we wouldn't have any shading, but now at least we have some shading going on. Yes. All right, so let's keep going with our beautiful white here. At least that's working for us. There we go. Okay, this is from the tree. We got some blue from the tree, which is fine. Let's do that. I'm pulling the blue from the tree and working it in. Why not? I kind of like that. I'm pressing harder so that it will blend here. And down to the blue. Okay, that'll work out. I like that. I'll do it over here too. So I'm coming in and I'm pulling down with tiny circles, very light circles. I'm actually getting color from the tree bark. And then I'm gonna go just on that part of the snow, like that. And a little bit further. There we go. A little harder with my pressure. Huh. Okay, that's fine. That actually comes out really pretty, that tint. I like that. All right. And I will be softening the white with the white pencil, the black lines. Because snow is not black. Well, depends the time of the year. At the end of winter, with all the cars driving in the snow becomes black. It's not a pretty sight. The snow is at its prettiest when it's just fallen. Then it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So if I go in a little bit more with my blue Slate 1024, I'm going over the area that I colored from the tree, like this. So I would say that we're getting some shade because the tree is putting some shade over here, the trunk. So this is my shading on the snow. See here, Maria has a line. So I'm going to go ahead and put some shading on top of that line. with my white, I blend it. There we go. So I can go up right to the top. I'm going harder because I'm not really going to have many other colors to add on, so I'm using the white to blend everything. Yeah, this powder blue, I'm really surprised that it goes gray. I don't know why it was going gray. I'm gonna try another one. I do have other, yeah, that like has a gray tint to it. One thing that I can do with my eraser as well is just leave it in place like this, and I get a star. It helps to make your eye see less of the mistakes you might have made. So I'm gonna continue that on my own. And I'm gonna take the blue slate 1024. The winner is, oh, I'm gonna drag some of that blue here. Why not? Oh, it wasn't just blue, there was black there, so that's why it didn't turn out as nicely. Do I leave it? Do I erase it? I'm going to erase it. Back to the dentist with our eraser. But this is much more fun than going to the dentist. All right, I can try and shade a little bit more just over the line. So we have a gradient here. There we go. And then I'm going to finish that off with the white. There we go. So here, the blue that's over here was when I did the other page here, and I used a lot of blue. When I closed my book, I forgot to protect my page like this. So some of it transferred. Some of the blue from that page transferred over here. But once I've put in some of this blue, it's not going to be so apparent anymore. Let's do some white to blend all that. I'm going harder now because I know I don't have many colors to add here. And I'll just make this a little darker for our shading. There. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tempt it. I'm going to use the 1026 lavender, gray lavender, which I used over here. Which has a little tone to it. So let's see if we add just a little bit here and there. Just like really lightly. Just so that we're bringing in some of this color down. That's not so bad, right? Just like very, very lightly. That's working out. There we go. So let me know in the comments if you are looking forward to the snowy period of year. Maybe you're in a country where you don't have snow. Maybe you like to go vacation in a country that does have snow to experience it. Like here, we've started having snow up north. So if I was in the mood today to go enjoy the snow with its scenery, I could just go up north and enjoy the snow there. And then come back to my area where it's no snow. So I get the best of both worlds. So this is what I'm going to do pretty much everywhere there's snow. So that's your homework. Oh, somebody's texting me. I'll check that out later. Let's continue with our tree. Here we have Copenhagen Blue 906. So we're going to go on this side of the trunk where our shading color, our darkest colors are going to be. There's a V there, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a V. Do you see how beautiful these two colors together are? Copenhagen Blue with light aqua. I have to remember that and use it in another color along. Okay, I can go to half the bark. I already know that. If I look here, I can see that I will be going there. My circles are a little bit bigger because I have a bigger area and I've tested it here. I know I like it. So again, there's a V over here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. Just a little V like that. There I go. Yeah, into my turquoise. I know it's going to be very pretty. There we go. And then on the lighter side will be the light aqua. And then we can take our Peacock Blue 1027. Bring the darker color into the lighter. So that's good. Let's use our Prismacolor blender. It has a hard lead, so it's easier to get into the little spots. Doesn't smush everything around. See, I'm enjoying the Prismacolor blender here. So that's its advantage, is the harder lead. All right, so let's try the next color, which was Aqua, on this side here. The Aqua. The tip, I'm just going ahead and filling it up completely. Medium pressure. And then with the Peacock, I can shade that Aqua a bit. With the Copenhagen, I'm going to go ahead and do the V. Here's another V. And I remember doing this V. With the Copenhagen, I can go for another layer. I'm going to go back with my Peacock Blue 1027. And I'm going to take my blender from Caran d'Ache. Blend all this properly. I'm not having to press hard. I can go gently, which is good for people who have problems with their wrists. This actually helps out a lot. Okay. I also want to go back actually with my violet and just darken up this area here a little bit from the sky, because this area might be a little bit darker. There we go. Now I'm going to go in with the black. So on the very darkest area, I'm going in with my black. Right up to there, yeah. Go with what you're comfortable with as well. The little V here is going to be there. A little V over here. A V over here. Okay. I'm going to blend out a little bit with Copenhagen 906. so that the black line is not as harsh. I'm going to come out right up to here and just go very, very lightly over my aqua. Very, very lightly. There we go. So, what have we added today? Let's see if I need to zoom out a bit. Yeah. And bring this down a little bit like this. Okay. So let's do our book, our lists, so that we can come back to this page and look and see what colors we used. Because we might want to do this again on a different book, a different page. Maybe we'll want to do just one of the colors. So, my darkest shade here. So this is the snow. So blue slate, powder blue. So one shade here, like this, and a second shade just on the half, this half. And then powder blue 1087. Let's do a light layer to finish it off. And let's blend with our white. And we can see here our white snow. The most beautiful is when we have white snow. No slush. There. Okay. Now we blended this with white. Let's see what would happen if we blended it with the Prismacolor. Let's try that out. Oh yeah, and we did add, I'll have to add the grade Lavender 1026. Oh, I went in a little bit hard, so. And then let's go back with our white. There. We just wanted a hint of that violet, or lavender if you prefer. So let's do that again. Let's start one coat and then a second coat on the end here. Then with our powder blue, with one coat extending here, and then the gray lavender very lightly. Let's do a light lavender right here, which is again 1026. And then the white on the lavender so that it's not as dark. Okay, now we're going to take the Prismacolor blender, Let's start with the lightest color because you see there will be dirt on your pencil left over. So white, lavender, our transition area, our powder blue, and our slate blue. I'm not going to go back to the white without cleaning it because it will be dirty. Okay, so blending with the white pencil, blending with Prismacolor. Now let's try the blending with the Caran d'Ache. Let's try that again. All right. One light coat, and then a second coat on the end. Then with the powder blue, we blend our two colors together. You see, it went gray again. That's strange. Why did it go gray? Does it go gray on the slate? That's crazy. Let's do a one color blend over here. And then let's go in with the slate gray over here. And finish off covering the slate gray and adding a bit of white there. Yeah, that gray is really surprising. Okay, I'm going to leave it in so I remember what happens, what can happen, and learn from it, and use that when I want it to be like that, and do that when I don't want it. Like, now I should know if I don't forget. There's a little bit of a speck there, a darker speck. There. Okay, so that's it for today. And let me know if you want, you need information on something. Leave a comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.